This session, I think, is really aptly named because it's moments like these in American history that demand new leaders, who can bring voices of hope, right? But unfortunately, hopeful isn't really a word that many would use to describe these times. When I talk to everyday Americans, business leaders alike, the word I hear most often is uncertainty. At the same time, uncertainty also creates massive opportunities. And the most hopeful change I've seen in recent years hasn't always come from Washington. The opposite. It's come from local communities, from farmers rebuilding local food systems to business owners adopting sustainable practices to educators teaching media literacy, taking matters in their own hands to everyday Americans running for office, right? And that common thread that I see that gives me hope is people deciding not to wait for permission to lead. I really think one of those leaders that gives me hope, and one of the new generation leaders is Jamie Ager himself, who is here joining me on this panel today. And I'm just going to jump in and intro you, man. Jamie Ager is a fourth generation farmer, entrepreneur, proud son of Western North Carolina. He was born in Fairview. And Jamie spent his life growing food, building community, and working with people, right? And his great grandparents helped launch one of the region's first farm cooperatives. His grandfather, Jamie Clark, served Western North Carolina in the U.S. Congress and a state legislature, right? Balancing running the farm with what you got a history here, man. You've stepped up to run for office because you believe that the decisions were being made without the input of your community here, right? And so, like, just before we get to some couple final questions here, what does real representation look like to you? Like, how do you think we can create a democracy where people feel like they have a true seat at the table and not just like a passive vote? Like, what would that look like to you?
To me, that's what leadership's all about. I mean, to me,
Yeah.
at Hickory Nut Gap, leadership's hard, man. You get beat up as a leader. You have to really be thinking about what you say. The onus is on us to be good leaders and to earn people's trust every single day, right? And to me, that's hard work. That's vulnerable work. That's
Hmm.
good communication. That's that's an ability to earn people's trust, which is, I think, is ultimately done through all the old-fashioned ways that humans do this. And it's, I mean, I hope, right? Like, it's easy to get cynical and be like, this is hopeless. But I think at the end of the day, that's my bet, is that I would say I'm kind of a starry-eyed idealist and that I believe in humans. I believe humans are generally good. And I think we can go solve hard problems together. Obviously, look at the history of humanity. We
Yes.
can do this.
And like honestly, to end on that note, like, and anything else you want to say, like, what gives you hope right now? This work is challenging. Like, in this uncertain moment, like, what is there a recent win that gives you hope, or what broadly makes you feel good about this moment? And
And I think right now we're, history kind of ebbs and flows, destruction, reconstruction, bad ideas, good ideas. We humans learn over time. Right now, I feel like we're kind of in a stage of like low trust, destruction of our institutions, all that stuff. And to me, what comes after that is rebirth, right?
Mhm.
And I have three kids. They give me hope. I have a lot of love for them. I have a lot of love for all the people that we work with. Like, humans do cool stuff, and we can point it in the right direction with good leadership, can create do amazing things. And to me, that's the work right now, is really leaning into how do we think holistically, how do we like care for each other, and to me there's hope there. We can do this. We can do better than we're doing right now.